All right. So I'm actually really excited about some of the stuff I want to talk about this week, and I hope that you guys find these helpful. And just, I know, with Hillary's group and Heather's group, there's a ton of information that just flows around. And I know, like, I've talked to Megan, and she's like, what group do I look in? Like, which one's the main priority? And I know there's just a lot of different information. So I like to just kind of do these calls and make sure we're all kind of on the same page, and you guys know kind of what I'm thinking. And they are above us too, but I feel like we have grown enough that we can kind of still do our own thing too in those kind of senses. So I like to go over that kind of stuff. And then we're working on building our own team, so I think it's really important that we have these calls too, just to make sure we're all on the same page and just talk about those things. And you guys know, I watch videos like a maniac. I mean, I am constantly watching videos because that's how I learn, that's how I grow, and that's just something that I feel is important for me, and I make the time to do it. And so I know some of you don't have the time to do those things, so I like to share what I take away from those things with you. And so, but I definitely recommend, if that's something you feel like you're struggling with, I would pick one video a week. And I know sometimes they're an hour long. I will break it up in chunks and watch 20 minutes at a time. But when I watch something, it fuels my fire, and I just get excited, or I'm learning about it, and that's kind of when I did my like page. Like, I watched videos to make sure I was doing it the right way, and just kind of following the experts and what they say and what they do and those kind of things. So it's helped me a lot, and so I recommend it. I know sometimes you can even skip ahead to like 15 minutes in, because a lot of times they do announcements and stuff at the beginning, so you can kind of break them down that way. But if I find good ones, I try to share them with you, and that kind of thing. And I just know that that's one thing for me that's really helped, learning tips for time management, and why posting is important, and how to use social media, and those kind of things have been really beneficial for me. So I tried to confirm with Heather today kind of what the challenge group lineup looks like. And we are going to have a group on the 30th, so Monday. I right now have one new person, two new people, and then one for sure alumni, but I know I'll have a lot more alum that are going to be there. So on that file that I put in our page, make sure you mark down who you have, that way we can kind of get a number. But I'm sure that we will just still have our own group. I know I really like it, even though sometimes I feel like it's just the 4 or 5 of us that are posting and commenting on each other's stuff. But hey, it's all good. But I like that. I like it though, because you do have those 2 or 3 Rockstar challengers that do post, but I felt like the last time we were with Heather's team, there was like 50 posts, and I felt like I had to go through and comment on all of them, and I was spending so much time doing that when I really needed to focus somewhere else. So I like our small groups, and I'm going to push to keep them that way. I really like those. So the 30th, and then we're doing another one back on December 7th. So back to back. But it's nice in a way that if people sign up with a challenge pack on like Tuesday or Wednesday, then you can still get them right into a group. So that's really nice. But I hate doing 2 groups back to back, because then I feel like you're still pushing. Like, you don't have that down week where you can kind of, okay, I want to focus on coaches, or I don't feel that push to get people to join my group. So there's plus and minuses to both of it. And so that's just kind of the way it is. December 7th may be a small group. And so we'll just kind of check our numbers and go from there. So we will have 2 groups back to back. And then I asked Heather, and we will have another group in December. I'm guessing it'll be the 21st will be when the next group will be after that. So that first week will be preseason, like Christmas week will be preseason, and then we'll start after that. And all of these groups are general groups. So even the 7th, even though Hammer and Chisel will be out, it's still going to be a general group. Meaning, if people buy Hammer and Chisel and they're doing that program, that's totally fine. They can be in there. But if they want to do the fix, they can do the fix. If they want to do extreme, they can do extreme. Whatever it is that they want to do, they can. That's just going to be a general group. And then on January 4th is when we're going to do a Hammer and Chisel exclusive group. I don't know a lot of details about it. And so I think it's just that group is just going to be geared towards Hammer and Chisel. Will we do a separate 21-day fix group? Possibly. It just kind of depends. But that January 4th, I think they're really going to push for that to be a exclusive Hammer and Chisel. I think they're pushing for it to be a couples group. Do I think my couple will do it with me? Heck no. But will I post that he's doing it with me? Possibly. Depends if I can get him to take a picture with me every day. See, I bet Corey would love to do it. No. So I think they're going to push for that just because I think, we do kind of need to branch out a little bit and, either way, but not saying if you don't have your spouse doing it with you that you can't do it. It's not like that. If you want more information on Hammer and Chisel, if you go into your back office and on kind of like the left-hand side, the sales and marketing tab, you click on that and then you scroll down to your product toolkit. There is an FAQ on Hammer and Chisel. There is kind of a brochure on Hammer and Chisel. It explains the program, explains the workouts, all that kind of stuff. So I watched 2 videos today on Hammer and Chisel as well, and I'm super pumped for it. I'm really excited. I think it'll be a good change because a lot of us have been doing the fix and extreme for a while, so I think it'll be a good change. And if you want to join, I did make an event group today. So if you want to join that and just kind of get more information yourself, that's totally fine. And if you have potential people, but you're not ready to make your own event page, you can invite them to that, but just make sure you give them the link to sign up for you and stuff. But the nutrition plan and everything is very similar to the 21-day fix. It's just the container ways will be a little bit different, but the science behind it is the same and very similar. So that's what I know for the challenge groups as of right now. I don't know if you saw Heather or Hillary's post about the 25-day giveaway thing. Did any of you see that in her page?
Yeah, I didn't understand it though.
I didn't either. And I messaged Heather today and I said, hey, can you explain this to me? And she kind of had a crazy day with with her kids. She never got back to me. And I just flat out told her, I'm like, sometimes I don't understand what Hillary says. And I'm like, so that's why I asked you. And they are. You'll notice if you haven't already that they are 2 totally separate people. And so I was going to message Hillary about it, but then I'm like, then I get a 10-page essay on it, and I don't have time to read a 10-page essay. So I don't know anything about it yet. We'll figure it out. It kind of sounds like, I have no idea. I'm not even going to try and pretend to explain it to you. I really have no idea. And she did a huge long post about it, and that's my problem is I read like 2 sentences, and then I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. So I don't know. When I know more information, I'll share it with you. But yeah, I really don't know a ton about that. So when I do know, I'll let you know. But yeah. So any questions on that, on the challenge group plan so far? Okay, awesome. Okay, so into the meat of kind of what I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if you guys saw that quote today that I put in the group, but I got that quote off of one of the calls that I listened to, and I don't have it sitting in front of me, but basically it was saying that, once you succeed, that's not when you start practicing. You have to practice all of your skills right now in order to succeed. And we all know that. We've all been through, whether it was athletics in high school or things in college and getting jobs and wanting to excel in our jobs and kids succeeding and those kind of things. So we all know that. And I think that sometimes when it comes to Beachbody and it comes to this coaching part and it comes to having that practice, sometimes that gets to the back burner. And I know I've been there. I was started out too, and now it's just kind of become kind of routine for me and what I'm doing and how I'm doing things. But the biggest thing that I can then say for you, and you guys have been doing a great job of it, but your consistency and your sharing your posts on Facebook, that's your credibility. I mean, when I first started, I was posting pretty random things. And now, I don't know if you notice, but I post, whether it's a video or a workout picture, I post it every day. And it's probably super annoying to see my same facial expression every morning in a different workout shirt. But for me, I feel like that's kind of my accountability, and that's my credibility for saying, hey, I worked out today. Have you? You know, and whether people are seeing it or not, you know, I try and post it early in the morning so everybody, as they're waking up, they see it. But that's me being consistent, and that's me being credible and saying, hey, I did my workout. Do I post my shake every day? No. But I try to, you know, at least once a week, you know, talk a little bit about it. Try and post a recipe. You know, here's something healthy that I've made. Here's how I'm staying accountable and those kind of things. Because people are watching you, and then all of a sudden it's going to be that one post that's going to click, and then they're going to commit. So even if you've already reached out to them about joining a group and they've turned you down, they're still watching you. They are still waiting to see your workout. They're still waiting to see your inspiration. They're waiting to see that. And then all of a sudden one day, I've seen it happen to me multiple times. It's going to click, and they're going to get it, and then they're going to join you. But if you're posting once a day or once every other day, once a week, you know, if you don't make that effort to post, they're not going to see that, and you're not going to be on their mind. So you have to kind of think of that as your way of checking into the challenge group. So being consistent. Another thing to think about is, are you adding value? I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I'm like, crap, it's noon. I'm supposed to post at noon. I don't have anything to post. So I'll go to Pinterest, type in something, screenshot it, throw it on my Facebook, and try and come up with a quirky quote to go with it. I'm guilty of it too. But think about, am I adding value? Is somebody going to read this and think, wow, you know, that's so me. That's my life. I need that, you know, or are you just posting to post? You know, sometimes, yeah, you know, it's like, I don't have anything neat to say about my sweaty selfie this morning, so I'm just going to throw it up there. You know, that's not adding value. And, you know, sometimes you get a lot of likes, sometimes you don't. That's not a great way to judge it. But sometimes I do. I look at my stuff, and if it has a lot of likes, I'm like, okay, maybe there was value there, or somebody comments on it. Hey, you know, that really hit somebody. That made them think about it, and those kind of things. And show your personality. Sometimes on posts, it's easy to see somebody else do this, so I'm going to kind of fudge it a little bit or copy and paste it a little bit. You know, show your personality. Be you. Sometimes I post the stupidest stuff, and Kevin's like, why are you posting that? I'm like, I don't know, because that's me. This is what I would do. And so, you know, some people are going to think it's weird. They're going to roll their eyes. They're going to think I'm weird. But that's me. That's my personality. And, you know, just those kind of things. And to me, my family's important. The things that we do at night are important. So I'm going to share those things. Like Kinsley's shoe in the dishwasher. Like, I'm not kidding you. It literally was in the dishwasher. I'm like, what? How did you get that in there without me even noticing you did it? And so, yeah, it's weird. It's random, but that's my personality. Like, that's my day. That's my life. Just kind of showing those people those things. And then this is important too. And I know Christy and I were kind of talking about it on Facebook Messenger. I think it was last night when we were supposed to be at conferences. But she kind of shared with me, like, why this is so important to her. Like, why helping others is important, and why helping herself is important. And that's your story. That's your thing. Like, that is what makes you stand out to other people. I know Megan has her thyroid, and that's what she uses. That's her thing. Like, that's what makes her unique and what is her story. Mine is, I worked out before, had a baby, I had all this weight, and I couldn't lose it. And so that's my thing. Is that, to me, that's like, compared to what I've heard other people say, I'm like, wow, my thing's really not that great. But Autumn, squirrel, right? No. But for me, that's my thing. Like, I was in shape my whole life, and then all of a sudden I had a baby and I couldn't be. So that's my story. That's my why. So whatever it is, however big or small your story is, your why, that's what you share. And those are the type of people that you are reaching for. And, you know, like, for example, like if somebody with a thyroid disease came to me and was like, I need help with this, blah, 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 I would be sitting here like, well, I don't really know. You know, that's Megan's thing. That's who she is reaching for. Or, you know, people that just got married and don't have kids yet. That's her target. Mine is, okay, hey, you had a baby? Awesome. I have a baby too. I'll help you figure this out. 30 minutes. You can so do that. You know, and Julie, you are reaching those moms with teen kids and busy schedules and all that stuff. Like, we each have our why. And don't be afraid of that. Like, that's your story. That is what is going to draw people to you. So you have to be yourself. You have to show your personality. You know, I've been guilty of this a lot this week. I've been looking at Heather's posts, and I've been looking at Hillary's, and I've been looking, and I'm sitting here like, I just get frustrated. I'm like, you know what? I can't compare myself. I'm not them. I'm a totally different person. I have a totally different situation. I have to keep the blinders on and focus more on me and what my journey is, what my story is, because people are going to come to you for you and what you're posting and what you're sharing. So each day, these are some of the big things that focus on is your workout. Are you posting about your workout? Sharing a recipe, sharing a motivational quote. Are you inviting? Are you doing a invite each week? You know, they usually say Wednesday nights are the nights to do an invite. Are you saying, hey, if you want to join me, comment or like below. Before and after pictures. Some of you may not be ready to do your actual swimsuit before and after picture, and that's totally fine. I didn't do it for the longest time either, but I think people really respond to before and after pictures. Even if you are fully clothed or it's just your face, it's your first sweaty selfie to your latest one, I think people really relate to that because they see that what you're doing is working and what you're doing is real, and what you are doing is, you guys hear me? You guys hear me? Oh my gosh. Guess who's getting a call tomorrow about my internet? Oh my gosh. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like right. You guys hear me now though?
A little quiet.
Ugh. Okay. I'll just lean in really close. Ugh. Don't worry, I'll be calling them tomorrow. All right. Let me see if I can get back on track. Okay. So yeah, those before and after pictures, even if it is your first sweaty selfie to your last one, just some kind of picture, I think really draws people in. So even if you're not ready to do your swimsuit one, that's totally fine. You know, and if you need help ripping off the Band-Aid, let me know, because I know when I did my first one, it was horrifying. And so honestly, what I did, I posted it right before I went to bed, shut my phone off, went to bed, and didn't look at it till the next morning. Did I fall asleep right away? Heck no, but you know, it's one of those things that you get some challengers from that, and you know, it's scary though, but we've all been there, we've done it. So just think about, it's being consistent and it's being steady that's going to help you grow your business. So think about where it is maybe you are lacking. You know, are you lacking with your posting? Are you lacking with your inviting? You know, whatever it is, you know what it is that you need to work on. And that being steady and being consistent in that is going to win the race, or it's going to help you succeed, help you grow. So some other things that, any questions on that, on posting about being consistent? And no? Okay, Hillary did not have a November calendar. So basically I just kind of shuffle through different things, but I use that Post-it sheet a lot now. I think I shared that with you guys back at the beginning of October. But I started using that and just filling in what I'm going to post, and I do it in pencil, so that way if I change it, then I can change and kind of go through there and figure that stuff out. You guys still hear me? You're all frozen.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I just can't see you guys moving, so all right, that's okay. Another thing, another thing I want to talk about is how your mindset is. So what your mindset is moving forward. And I watched a video about how diamond is a mindset, and how honestly, if you are at a point where you're like, I want to make more money, I'm doing all this work and I don't see it when I check my weekly commissions, you've got to get to diamond. Because I was watching the video today and it was saying how emerald, you actually cap out at $250. Like no matter how much work you do, if you're an emerald, you won't make more than $250. So if you're at that point where you're like, I'm doing so much work and I'm not benefiting, you need to get to diamond. You need to get there ASAP. And it's just a mindset. Basically, it's finding 2 people like you and duplicating them. Or if you have your spouse signed up, it's getting 2 people under them and then 1 other person to coach. And I didn't struggle because Julie was my first Emerald, and she jumped on board right away and hit Emerald right away. It was actually longer for me to get Kevin to Emerald than it was for Julie to get to Emerald. So I didn't really have that struggle of trying to find people. But I've still had to backtrack and learn how to coach and encourage you to get to that point. But you definitely, if you're feeling like, you want to move on, you want to keep going, that's one of the things you have to look for, is change your mindset. So whatever it is that you hate to do, I hate to invite, hate it. If I could not invite a day in my life, I would not do it. I hate it. So guess what's the first thing I do every day on my list? Any guesses?
Invite.
Right. So whatever it is that you hate to do, maybe it's post. Maybe it is, I don't know. It's posting, it's inviting, it's posting about your challenge group, whatever it is, put that first on your to-do list and get it done. Write everything down that you need to do, put that at the top of the list. And maybe it's good or it's bad, but I will do all my inviting, and then I will not look back at my messages until an hour later or half an hour later, or whatever it is. So I do that first, I get everything else done, then I go back to it, or I give it a little time, because I think I don't have to be right there to answer messages right away. Like I can sit back and relax for a few minutes or whatever it might be. So definitely do what you hate first. And I feel like I need to do a better job of checking in with you guys. I know some of you guys, I talk to you every day, but I don't, and sometimes that's more on a friend level, and I don't always check in and say, hey, how many invites have you sent today? Did you post today? Did you work out today? Those kind of things. So I need to do a better job of being a coach for you if that's what you want. And so I was listening to a call of one coach, and she literally has her coaches send her their power of 3 when they are done. So their 5 invites that they sent out, their names, that they checked in with their customers or whatever it might be. And she literally has them take a picture of what they did, and then they send it to her, and that's their accountability. And I think that's a great idea, because we check into the challenge groups, that's your accountability. So I think I need to do a better job of being that accountability person for you. So like last night, all of you, I sent you a message and I said, hey, what's your goal this week? What's your number one goal? What's the thing you want to get done? And, each of you responded. And Christy and I were talking back and forth last night, and we were kind of talking about those things. And so, we have these monthly goals, we have these big goals, but sometimes I think just to break it down for a week and have a focus. What's my one thing? And each of you you have a focus that you want to do this week. And that's what you need to put all of your power and all of your will into. So if you want to have 5 challengers in the group on Monday, that means you have to send like 25 invites, because how many times do you send out 5 invites and get 5 yeses? You have to do that, and you have to send that. Check in with those people that like your posts. Even if you don't say anything about your challenge group, I have people that I messaged way back in August. They've liked every single one of my posts. So I send them a message. I'm like, hey, thanks for all the love on my posts. I really appreciate it. And they check back with, yeah, you're so inspiring. Thanks so much. And that's it. That's all it is. But you know what? I'm still on their mind. And I'm still, hopefully, that person that they're going to come back to when they decide they have the money, or they decide that they want to make a change. So even just those little things, even if it's somebody that's already told you no, still tell them. Still say, hey, thanks I appreciate your support. It means a lot. People that I haven't invited, I throw a little invite in there too. When I tell them thanks for loving on my posts and those kind of things. So it's one of those things of just getting out there and just saying thank you. And I hope all of you got the card I sent in the mail. If you've checked your mail at all, hopefully you got it shortly. But it was something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I'm like, you know what? It's November. It's Thanksgiving. I got to do it. It took me forever, because I actually had to write out 40 cards, because I sent it to anybody that ever bought anything from me since August. I should have done it a long time ago. But I got so many messages back saying, thanks for the card. Thanks for thinking of me. That was really sweet. And, I wasn't doing it to hear gratitude back. I just wanted those people to feel that I was appreciative of them trusting me and wanting to have me help them and those kind of things. So if you want me to keep you more accountable, you need to let me know. So if you want me to hound you until 9 o'clock when I go to bed about getting your invites or getting your postings ready, let me know, because I can do that. It's easy to send you a message. It's easy. I have most of you on Snapchat, so it's easy. Just, hey, send me a picture of your power of 3, I know you all are working out, so I'm not worried about that. But if you're inviting or whatever it is, your daily things you need to do, if you need to send it to me so that I can hold you accountable to that, I am more than willing to do that. So you just have to let me know, because I don't want to push you if that's not something you want. And I don't want to make you feel like you are doing this for me, because this is for you. All of this is for you and what you want to accomplish and what your goals are and those kind of things. So if you need a push from me, let me know, because I can definitely do that. I can definitely be that person for you. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is time management. And I wanted to show you, and I shared this with Christy last night, but the last 2 weeks, I felt like when I got on the computer to do stuff, my mind was in 10 billion different directions that I had no idea where to start. I had no idea what to do. So I took 2 or 3 different business activity trackers, if you've heard that word float around on the Beachbody challenge or the groups, and I took them all and I combined them into one that fit me and my needs. So this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can really see it. Very good. But so I did, I have check in the challenge groups. So when I check in the challenge group, I exit off. I do it once a day, especially since our groups are smaller. I check in, cross it off. Post in the team page. So I know that I need to post in our team page at least once a day. Cross it off when I'm done. Get my PD, my Shakeology, my workout done. Cross it off. Send my new friends messages. Cross it off. Those kind of things. And then there's some things I don't have to do every day. Like the National Wake Up Call, I just listen to it once. I don't have to listen to it every day. And so this has really helped me sit down and say, okay, you know what? Even today, I have not commented on any of my posts from people that yesterday commented on my posts. So when we get done here, I need to go back and comment on those things. So for me, it's really helped to focus my time and say, yep, all right, start from the top, work my way down. This is what I need to do. I will share this if it's something that you need. I just did it on a Google Doc, and then I edited it to fit my needs, so what I needed to do. So for example, I noticed that for a week and a half, I was not replying to people's comments on my pictures. And I always try to wait a day or two so that it pops back up in the news feed. But I just didn't think about doing it for a week and a half. And I'm like, well, geez, it's probably too late to say, thanks or comment back on it now. So I made that a thing on my sheet that I need to go back and comment on my posts and things. And then if there's anything else that doesn't fit into this, then I put it on my Google Calendar as a task, and I just keep that up, and then I try, and it's nice because I can just move them over if I don't get it done, and those kind of things. So that's what's been working for me lately when it comes to my time management. If you have a different thing that works for you or another way, does anybody want to share what you kind of do for time management if you have anything that's been working for you? No.
I need all the help I
Oh,
can get.
go ahead.
Yeah, and I shared this with you, Christy, and I know that you said it seemed helpful.
Yeah.
Is there a way you could share that with me? Because I have that little planner that you gave me,
Yep.
and I have scribbled in there what I do each day, and then I have that notebook that each page I try to write the date and then what I want to get done that day, because I'm a list person, I guess. So I always just write it out. But
I will share that with you on Google Docs for sure. And some of the stuff you may be able to take out because, some of the stuff you may not be doing yet or those kind of things. And so, but it just really helped me. And then also at the end of the week, I can look back and say, you know what, I really sucked at checking in on this group or whatever, because 3 out of the 5 days there was an empty space. So It's one of those things too that I think I can look back and say, here's where I'm struggling, so this is what I need to focus on. Anything else you guys have been using that's been helping?
My phone's really annoying, but I've been setting like alarms in the morning to post on like for the November group, and then like now I'm posting for the other one. I just set an alarm like so I post within a certain time frame, and I know you like it like in the morning, but I usually work out and then when I get finished I post it. So my alarm kind of goes off, and like I'm a really big calendar like alarm person, so I don't forget because Aaron doesn't remember anything. So it's kind of always on me. So yeah, I usually just use my phone a lot, and then I set alarms like make sure you do this. Stop. Make sure that you know. Sorry. But yeah, I use alarms on my phone too.
Yep, good. I noticed one thing for me I was really struggling with was checking back with people, especially because I've been sending so many invites lately that I wasn't being consistent with my checking back. So now what I actually did was I have a small notebook, and so like today when I sent out 5 invites, and I wrote them down as to check back with them on Saturday. So I have it written down like I have tomorrow who I need to check back with, I have Friday who I need to check back with, I have Saturday. So even if they get back to me, then I'll cross them off. But that way I look at that and I don't have to go back through my messenger 20 billion times and see, okay, who's messaged me, who hasn't. So again, that's what I'm saying, like my organization it's a hot mess. Like I understand it, but if any of you probably looked at it, you'd be like, what is wrong with her? But for me, it works. So you got to find what works for you. And I honestly, I have 3 notebooks going at one time with just different things, but I know where everything is, and that's all that matters. But for me, I was doing terrible at checking back. So I had to write their names down twice. Okay, I messaged them today. I got to check back this day. And so that's what's worked for me with trying to keep that organization. I know if you're a computer person, if you're an Excel person, I know Hillary does a lot with Excel and keeping track that way. I'm just paper pencil because to me that just writing it just helps me remember, and that just is what works for me. So, and I do that with my posts too. Like I actually write them out, and I write out when I need to post, and I'll actually type them up on a draft, like an email, and then I finally figured out how to copy and paste on my phone, like the best thing ever. And so I will open the email. Kevin's known how to do it for like 2 years. I'm like, why didn't you tell me sooner? But I'll type them in a email and save it as a draft, or I'll send it to myself. Then I copy and paste it, and it's done in 2 seconds. So I do that a lot too, especially at night if I can't sleep or something comes to my mind. So, well, that's all I had for tonight. We got less than 5 minutes. So do you guys have any questions or anything?
I have people that I'm working on for coaching, like for coaching invites, but I still feel like I'm building like those relationships with people I haven't talked to for a while. And I'm like writing their names down, and I'm going to start going back to them and asking them about the challenge group and things. I feel like the post I have right now is a little like sales pitchy, and I don't want it to be that way. I know you have a ton of examples and everything, but I'm trying to think of a way to like, I don't know, get them intrigued without saying like, hey, do my challenge group. And some of them, I don't want them to think I'm just asking them because I feel like, oh, you're overweight or something, you know, because 3 of my challengers that I have right now, you know, that I'm thinking of, a lot of them aren't even overweight or anything. I just think that they love fitness, and, you know, I want them to be a part of it. Is there a good way to word it without, I don't know.
One thing that I know when I use it sometimes, the way that Heather messaged me about joining, is she said, hey, you know, how are you and Kinsley doing? You know, she kind of started a conversation, and then on the side note, she's like, I know you're really busy with going back to work and having a young baby, but I know that you love fitness as well, and that's important to you. You know, I run these challenge groups. I don't know if you'd at all be interested. And then she kind of explained it a little bit. you know, and then she threw in there, if you're not interested, it's totally fine, you know. And then as we were going back and forth, like we still had an outside conversation going, talking about our kids and stuff, and we were still talking about the challenge group. So to me, that was a really nice way that she messaged, because she, you know, brought up me and my situation and my, you know, my daughter and stuff, rather than just, hey, you know, you have any interest in joining? And I'm guilty of it this month. I've been sending just random messages like, hey, I run these challenge groups. Would you have any interest? You know, I've been guilty of that. I haven't, but to me, I feel like it's people that I know, and I know they're watching, and anyways, yeah. So that's what I would suggest, is just when Heather reached out to me about it, that was just a nice way that didn't feel salesy to me, and still felt like she actually cared about, you know, my situation and stuff. And so I think if you just keep that conversation and you keep it about them, that really helps too. Any other questions? We got less than 2 minutes. Awesome. All right. Well, if you want, here's what I want you to do. If you want me to be more in your face, and not in your face, but more on your butt about getting stuff done, let me know. If I don't hear from you, then I'm assuming that you're under control and you're good to go, and you're not at that point yet, which is totally fine. I mean, everybody reaches these stages at different points, and I know you'll reach that aha moment where it finally starts to make sense. And sometimes it's not till you get 2 or 3 challengers signed up, and then you're like, oh my gosh, like this is awesome. And sometimes you get hard no's that are just like today. I shared it in that group where this lady is like, well, I'm in my first, she said, semester of pregnancy. So she's like, so I stopped my gym membership and since I'm pregnant. Like, what do you say to that? You know, it's like, well, you can still work out when you're pregnant, you know. So you're going to get that. You're going to get those situations. But, you know, there is people out there that do want your help and will want your help. And even if this month has been hard for you, if you keep posting and you keep being consistent, it will come full circle for you come January when everybody starts making those resolutions. So if you have challengers and stuff, make sure you post them in that file for Monday so we can get the group set up and going there. All right. Well, have a great Thanksgiving. Safe travels. Don't eat too much turkey. Red container. No. All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Good night.